Hey guys. So, tell you a little story. The year was 2014. On this exact day, the 15th of May, and a little thing called Mahoneygate came up. You're probably wondering, is that like Watergate? Is that like some famous day in history? Yeah, you're both right. It was kind of a famous day. A famous day for, what would become a big online conspiracy against moi, but it wasn't. It turned out not to be a conspiracy. So let me tell you the story. So years ago, and this is going to sound familiar, that I had lots of groups. Okay, so not much has changed in that aspect. I still have lots of groups, but one particular group called Camp Crystal Lake Alumni, which is now my Friday the 13th alumni group, had a shit ton of rules. And, any one of those rules were met with warnings, were met with deletions, banning. And in these groups, you weren't allowed to say anything negative, like against this movie. Like, I didn't stop you from saying I didn't like this movie. My big thing was you can't say I hate this movie, because my eyes back then, well, even a little bit now, I'm not a big fan of that word, the hate word. But I used to take it really too far. Like, you would get a warning for that. I'd ask you to rephrase it or blah blah blah. And one day I started plugging for a show called Banana Laser and the Skeleton Crew, and I had no problem promoting groups. So when these guys came to me, I was all for it. Problem is they ended up breaking one of my rules, and that was mocking handicapped people. And the meme was Mark from part 2, and how Marcus, trying to get with the girl later on, and he says I don't plan to be in this chair all my life. And anyone who's watched the movie obviously knows what happens to Mark. And basically the joke was, well, you you have a couple more minutes before you bite the dust, buddy. Well, back then I had a sense of humor, but I didn't have a sense of humor about that. And I ended up not liking this post, and one of my admin moderators at the time, I think she was just a moderator, although everybody had a title back then. That's another thing that was made in fun of us. You weren't just like a admin or a moderator. You were a camp counselor. You were a camp owner, camp everybody had a title. Anyways, so one of my moderators back then, she took it upon herself to ban one of the guys from Skeleton Crew. His name is Alex, and man, did I get a backlash for that, because this podcast was very popular back then, and people still wish it was on now, including me. But I'll get to that part. So every week, I became the focus of insults, and in hindsight, it was all in good fun. But they were upset because one of their own got it because of my stupid rules, and so yeah, I didn't. I Now I can look back and I can laugh, because I look at how stupid it was back then. But in my eyes, I was the right one and they were the wrong one. So we went back and forth. They would have a podcast. I would do a rebuttal, and they'd use my rebuttal in like a skit, and it's it went on for weeks. Well, one day we all decided to sit down and talk about it, and me and Alex and Matt was Zell, and now I'm saying full names, Matt and Dave and Jamie. We all realized like we have a little bit more in common than we thought, and this was all just one big misunderstanding. A big misunderstanding is what it turned out to be, and now we can all agree that Mahoney's a really cool G. That song comes out, by the way. There's a real song on YouTube called "Mahoney is My Homie." Go look it up. Yes, it's about me, but it's a good me. It's a good about me. Like he says in the story, it was a big misunderstanding, and we all became like really good friends, and uh, some of the guys who used to follow both shows, Cody Robinson and Travis Christian, are like two of my best buds now, and and like this is 12 years later, and you know we still all agree it was one of the best times in our life, because if you look back at those old shows, especially the Banana Laser shows that focused on the character Mahoney, it was comic genius. And even after we all like became friends, they asked me if they could keep the character alive, and that character was featured on many of the shows, including some of the Skeleton Crew shows too, which you know interdimensional. I was on multiple shows, and it gave me my moniker, the Father Mahoney name. That's the character was called Father Mahoney, and it was a joke how the name came about. Uh, like I might misquote here, but uh, Dave used to joke about all my horror groups, and he said something on the idea of who does he think he is, the father of horror? So like that's how the Father Mahoney name came about. And 12 years later, I still go under Father Mahoney. It's like I said, like we all became friends after that, and um, it's amazing. 12 years later, like me, Travis, and Cody will still talk about this, like the days of Father Mahoney. And I want to give a big shout out to Cosmic Creeper. Also, Cosmic Creeper is the one that made the song "Mahoney is My Homie." Uh, it's amazing that something so, how can I say this? Something so stupid, like how this happened, why they were banned. Like I want to go on the record, I never banned them, but because I was the owner of the group, I end up taking responsibility for it, because one of my moderators jumped the gun. I believe her name was Linda. I don't know her anymore, which is good. And she took it too far. And I've even told this to all involved. Like I was upset by the actual post, yes. But when I look back, hindsight now, it was just a joke. And sometimes we have to, now that I'm kind of like in the same boat, like physically wise, I'm not the healthiest I've ever been, and I can look back now and laugh, and in a way, it was a trying experience, but a life lesson that you can't take. You have to look at things in a good light too. Not everything is meant to hurt you. And hey, 12 years later, I'm still Father Mahoney. I still look at that as a life lesson. It's something that educated me. And like I said, 12 years later, I'm still rocking the Father Mahoney gimmick. People love it. I still I've had my own podcast, Father Mahoney's House of Horrors. I had Mahoney's Madhouse. I still, on occasion, on this channel, actually, sometimes I'll still do like a Father Mahoney's Weekly or my horror life with Father Mahoney. So it gave me an identity, which is cool. And definitely something that if it was all done all over again, I would have took a different path. But I wouldn't change what had happened because, like I said, I made some really awesome friends out of this. Even people who don't know the story will call me Father Mahoney. So now that you know the story, happy 12th anniversary to me. Yeah, I'm not modest. But Mahoneygate will live on. Here's the next 12 years. And rock on. Father Mahoney out. And in the spirit of Banana Laser wins every time.